Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Hi. Hello. How are you? This is a tarot workshop today. How are you? And we have Abhinav. How are you? Are you wanting to learn tarot today? Because this is a tarot workshop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And I'm sorry that it is Sunday instead of our usual spot on Saturday. But with no further ado, I'm going to jump right in and welcome you all. So we are looking at the court cards. And the court cards, what are they all about? Well, no, I'm Abhinav. Fridays is our free readings. Abhinav, we do Fridays, 5 o'clock at GMT, or 5:15 or 5:30, round about that time GMT, every Friday. On the weekends, we do tarot workshop, and that's what this is all about. So I'm really pleased to have you in. Please do subscribe, Abhinav, and join us, and then you can then press the bell so you're alerted when I come on to do a video or upload a video the next time. So really, really nice to have you along. So we are continuing our journey through the Minor Arcana, and I am doing the court cards. We did the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And in that, it's important, if you can hear that little clonking noise, it's the messages coming in while people are interacting. Nice to have them along indeed. Okay. So this week we find ourselves with the Queen of Swords. Okay. So court cards, people get mixed up with court cards. Who are they? Well, they are aspects of the person that's having the reading, or they are aspects of the people that the person who's having the reading actually is. Okay, so let's say somebody comes to you and they want to know about somebody at work. Well, when a court card comes up, it's an aspect of the person that's having the reading, but it's also an aspect of the person that they are inquiring about. Now, remember, I always talk to you about pairs, and I always talk to you about very special spread that I use. And if any of you are interested in learning much more about that, then join me on my new platform, which is all in the blurb, tarotcourses.online, where I am teaching the beginner's course for tarot, where you are able to go into much more depth to maybe pick up on more in your tarot journey, or even to be a professional reader. So thank you for all your lovely comments. Okay, I'm just making it absolutely clear tonight that this is a tarot workshop. Now what that means is we're learning about what the cards mean. Okay, so you're really, really welcome. I'm very well, Shell Shredder. Okay, so thank you so much. That's lovely to have you along. Right, bear with me for a second. Right, let's jump straight in with our continuation through the court cards, and we're on to the Queen of Swords, okay? And I was just pulling out some different examples to show you in a little while. The Queen of Swords is Libra, okay? And it represents people who, says normally a woman on her own. It can be an aspect of a man who is more in touch with his feminine side at this stage, in his journey, or even in his life, or maybe that's a permanent thing. It's an aspect, and we can have aspects, and we can have it swing into a place like part of our personality while we go through something where we only visit that part of our personality occasionally. Okay, but it is likened to that of a woman who's on her own. It's the ability to make keen judgments, even under extreme pressure. Okay. Shell Schrader, that's lovely. Coming in from Twitch. How lovely you are. Thank you very, very much. I hope you can hear us and see us okay there on Twitch and in YouTube and in Facebook. Do come and say hello, ask your questions along the way if that's what you'd like to do. So this is drawing wisdom from hard experience. So this is somebody, when you see a queen or even a king, and I'll be on to the king on tonight's tuition tarot workshop, you are in a position to know that that person has a sense of seriousness or maturity. Okay, they're drawing wisdom from hard experience of their own life. There's maturity at an early age, and they've had to possibly grow up rather fast. It could even be, I'm not talking about somebody just necessarily being young. I'm talking about somebody maybe being thrown into the deep end and finding that they've got to quickly come up and sort themselves out and focus. So there's some harshness. This person will show harshness towards fools or anyone trying to take advantage of their good nature. There's an extreme strong focus coming from the Queen of Swords. So somebody, if you look at that image there in our tarot card displayed on the PDF, you can see that the Queen is facing to the right. Okay. Hi, Katie. And the Queen is facing to the right, and as she faces to the right, she is hell-bent and focused. Okay, and that focus is upon what's in her mind. Remember, the swords is all about communication. It's all about the conversations in one's own mind. It's all about the intellect. So this is a focus that's going on in the brain, in the mind, in the conversations in the mind, and maybe in the way in which they're conversing with others. There may be somebody that has a high intellect, okay? Somebody that may know a lot about a lot, okay? Maybe they're academic, but on the card reading that you're looking at, you may be looking at the fact that they can niche that down into just one particular area. It might not be about everything, but they might know everything there is to know about X or Y or Z, but not the whole alphabet, if you get my meaning. Okay? There may be some bitterness with this person. Why? They've had to go it alone and they've got no time for people that's pulling them back or slowing them down or trying to actually distract them. They're focused, okay? Think of somebody that you know. I mean, a good example of the Queen of Swords is the Queen of England herself, I'm not saying, there's any particular aspect here, but she's focused. She's always there. No matter what happens, she remains calm, elegant, regal, graceful, never displaying any particular emotion in the times and the places that it's not appropriate. Outside of that, she may be a complete different aspect, but the aspect of her public profile is like that. Another example might be a consultant in a hospital that is incredibly busy and has to focus and stick to the point and get through goodness knows how many patients and can't be sitting there and listening to I feel this and I think that. They need to get to the heart of the matter and PDQ, pretty damn quick, okay? So they're surviving and thriving by their own wits. They don't suffer fools gladly, as I mentioned, and this person has got high standards of ethics and honesty. And she, as I've written it here, remember there's no gender, will demand the same of you. So I've put she because Queen of Swords is our feminine sort of card in the court cards in this regard, the Queen of Swords. This is someone who's seen a lot and done a lot, and in many cases, things that maybe it had rather not seen or done at all. Do you see? It can be, gosh, I've had to be this tough, this hard, this focused, this driven. Another good example is to actually look at somebody that you know who you can think about that does law, okay? No, this is a tarot workshop. We're learning about the cards. Bob Bobdunga. Sorry, Fridays I do that. You're welcome on Friday, 5 o'clock. Okay, don't forget that. Join us on Friday, 5:15 for live tarot and taking readings. Most definitely, that's when I do that. Okay, so our Queen of Swords. And Queen of Swords, as we can see, somebody who's not even looking, they're focused. She's focused on that sword, on that blade, and she's looking in that direction. She's got a strength to be able to hold that sword upright. That's quite heavy, remember. I'd be kind of, haven't been to the gym recently, maybe that's why. But you get my drift, yes? So there's strong determination and courage. This is the air family. Look at the picture in the PDF of our Queen of Swords, the tarot card. There's clouds in the background. That represents the fact that there may be some clouding of issues, clarity that she needs to get to the bottom of. She needs to sort it out. When we see clouds in tarot cards, it means something's hidden, something's not being revealed. We're not able to see it. If you look at the trees in the background, they don't actually look as if they're just still. They look as if they're swaying a little bit. And there's a bird in the sky. And we've got the sky is blue. The blue represents clarity, and the bird is, symbolic in this case of freedom and a sense of flying through the air, just because we have our suit and the element of air. Okay, so I'm going to move on. And here we are with the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is Gemini, okay? And this time we've got the court card here on the left, and he is facing us. The Queen was facing to the right, okay? I go over all of that and what all of that means in my online courses that you can find, tarotcourses.online, if you want to learn how to really, really become an advanced reader with a view to maybe being a professional. Okay, so there you go. All right, so this is a leader of high intelligence and a man that can be seen to be lacking in emotions. Now, don't take that as gospel. What that means is, on this occasion, so a man lacking in emotions may be like that at work. He may be like that in a certain relationship, a business relationship, because he's remaining guarded. He may be like that as in where people have taken advantage of him in a certain group or a certain community. Doesn't mean he's like that per se. Okay, it's an aspect. It's not just their personality, but it can come out. And we're all capable of being the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups, whatever. Okay, because it's part of ourselves and aspects that we visit when we are challenged or navigating our life. Okay, but people say, "Oh, how do I know?" Well, get used to what it means and then start going through learning how to do pairs, which, please, I will get there on the tarot workshops, but it won't be as in-depth as the courses where I can teach you the beginners, which is all up and running on my platform. And then I do the intermediate, which is how to do this amazing spread, that there's only one spread that you'll ever need, and how to work with pairs. And that will then teach you exactly what it is, because the place where it is will tell you who it is, where it is, when it happened, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. It's all there, because you'll see it either in the subconscious, you'll see it in the physical self, you'll see it in the mind, you'll see it in the months, you'll see it in the days, the weeks, the years, the long term, the short term communication, whether it's love, whether it's actually just a relationship that's working, a career relationship, or whether it's something to do with the project. It's all there, okay? I can only teach you so much on here, but at least you get the idea of what it's all about. And these are keynotes. If anybody's interested, I do have a tarot journal for sale on my website. If you want to actually purchase that, you can fill in what you are learning about the cards. It's very reasonably priced, under £5. There you go. You can buy that if you want to, and you can print it off, and you can add. I had a tarot journal. I called it an exercise book back then, but it was journaling everything I knew. And I also have two things. One, if for free you would like to actually have a copy of the PDFs similar to the ones I'm using, your copy will be white. I've done mine as in the little colour, and there is a very slight difference in the bullet points, but not much. You get just as much detail. If you'd like that, please do write to me at hello@tarot courses with an S .online. Okay, I've put it in the description, so you're welcome to have a look at that. You can get a free version. If you want to go deeper and get the professional meanings that I use as a reader, my 30 years of leading teams and being a professional tarot reader and a tarot teacher, you're welcome to actually get my tarot keywords book, which is also available on my platform should you wish to buy it. So, what is it all about? Court cards always send people into a frenzy. Well, an aspect of this person is they are a leader of high intelligence, just like the Queen of Swords. A man, again, lacking in emotions. But remember what I'm saying, it's not all the time. It's an aspect. So this might come out at work, in a certain relationship, in a business partnership. They could be so warm, like King of Cups or King of Wands, as in King of Pentacles, even in their home life or in their friendship circles. We don't know, not by just doing one card. That's why I mentioned what I did earlier. Anyway, this is somebody that is capable of things like law, medicine. They make a really good leader when they are in their aspect of being King of Swords. They are somebody that works best on their own, leading and being left to it and saying, right, okay, I've delegated, get on with that, that kind of thing. They're very strong-willed. They can be quite harsh. What is it? Close the door. Thank you. Don't disturb me. Leave a message, that kind of thing. Firm, but fair. Okay, I'm working. This is the time or the place to disturb me is a typical thing that you will hear from King of Swords. They are good but uncompromising as a judge in things, It's like, no, I've made my mind up, that's it. Okay, and the King of Swords indicates a mature intelligence. He is the combination of experience with a good, sharp mind. This means he is of an excellent intellect and good sense of judgment. So this is the right person to be running, the store, the business, the project, anything like that. Perhaps not the person to be, bringing two people together in relationships. There's not that fuzzy sort of warm feeling, if you know what I mean. So he's bold, he's courageous as a leader, but he may not understand situations that require that emotional or intuitive response rather than a logical one. So at times, this person can be seen to be cold or even ruthless. But remember, it's an aspect. So when you're really, really having to turn up for something and you've got to say to the loveliest person in the world, gosh, I really cannot be there for you. I've got an interview or I'm in a place where I have to actually be professional or detached. I can't be on the phone going, oh, yes, sorry, mum, 3 bags full, that kind of thing. And we can see them as being heartless. It doesn't mean like they're like that all the time. Okay, so I just want you to know that. All right, folks? Okay, does anybody have any questions? And don't feel that you've got to say anything about applying for your copy of this PDF. Just write to me. Okay, much easier for me to actually get your email and then send it on to you for free. But there is a much more in-depth and quite beautiful sort of images in my keywords that is for sale. So it's up to you. You can have the free version, which is exactly as you see, or you can have the version that I have done. Go and take a look at it. Tarot keywords on tarotcourses.online. Right, now, I'm going to play this and I'll be back with you in a minute. Please stay there. I'm going to show you some examples of some cards. Right, so here we go. As I always try to do, I have got just a couple of examples of different decks. Okay, this one is the Radiant Right Away. Say that again, Anne-Marie. This is the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. Okay, and you can kind of see why. It's the one I've used quite a bit in my PDFs. I just feel that it's bright and cheery enough to be able to point things out to you. So this was the one you saw in the PDF. So that's our Queen of Swords there. Rider-Waite decks are wonderful because they are so filled with symbology. My point is to actually learn on a Rider-Waite based deck will help you enormously. Okay, but one of the things that really will help is being drawn to different decks and enjoying, something that you're drawn to. And if you're drawn to it and it speaks to you, really, really, it's one of those things where you've got half the battle, haven't you? Because you're in love with the deck and you want to use it. I've got so many and I use different ones for different things. At the moment, because it's winter, another Rider-Waite base deck is Queen of Swords here by the Winter Waite deck, it's called. So this is the Radiant Rider-Waite. Bear with me, I've got the box here and the deck. Sorry, I can't bring everything onto screen. There you go. That is the Radiant Rider-Waite, the ones that I've used on the PDF there. Okay, so I'll just put that there for a minute. And the Queen of Swords that comes from the Winter Waite deck. I'm using this a lot at the moment. It's winter. It's a beautiful deck. Different things going on, you see. So let me show you the box on that one. Okay. So again, we've got our Queen facing to the right. Okay. Here we've been shown the winter image. You've got the snow on the ground, you've got the snow in the trees, you even got the holly to represent the season, etc. And she's wearing, a complete different gown. So this will speak to you. If I was reading this, I'd find this quite serene, quite graceful. This one here, she feels a little bit warmer to me. Maybe it's the colours in there. She feels a bit more friendly. The colours are there. I'd go through what that means, what I was picking up psychically, what I was picking up intuitively about all of that. Different decks. Now, here's one for you. I won't be able to show you the box on that one that easily because it's huge. That's over here. Bear with me. This is... I'll show you the book instead. Here we go. Sorry, folks. This is the Baroque Bohemian Cat's Tarot and by Karen Mahoney. Okay, so there we go. I ran out of space on my desk. Sorry. So yeah, look at this. Cats. I don't have cats, but I just thought this was a great deck. I love the artists. I love all their work. I've got many decks by Karen Mahoney. Some fabulous decks that I'll be sharing with you when I do certain things here on my YouTube channel and in Facebook and in Twitch and Twitter and gosh, everything. Sorry, those that I've forgotten about at the moment to mention. But the whole point is you'll see things that are different. This looks totally different. Well, in this one, we've got a cat, okay? And all the cats are different. Sometimes you've got ginger tom, silver, sort of, black and white only, Persian, are all in there. So anybody that enjoys cats, you'll love that. I love all animals, so spoke to me. but I also really love the artist, and I think this is gorgeous, and I think the scene is in Prague, but the cat's facing the other way as our Queen of Swords, okay, compared to the others. So that could speak to you differently, you know. Um, Many schools of thought are if you're facing to the right, it's going forwards. If you're facing to the left, you're looking back at the past, you know, and so on. Millions of things that it can mean. And we haven't got time to cover all of that right now, but, you know, beautiful deck, absolutely beautiful. Hi, Marinda. Hello. Thank you so much for being so flexible, Marinda. This was why, and also some bits and pieces going on with the courses that I spoke to you about. So Belinda came on to say hello. I'll just look, add her to the broadcast. There she is. Hello, sweetie. Okay. And lots of other people sort of coming along. Shell Shredder. I'm going to be your number one fan tonight. Well, if you are you still watching? Hi, Ravneet. How are you? Lovely to see you. I think we read for you a couple of weeks ago. So, hope you're well, Ravneet. Lovely for you to come in and say hi. Join you on here. Lovely. Okay, so here's another one. Let me move that along. Sorry. Crikey. Okay. Oh, you're good. Good to hear. Okay, I'll move that up there. All right. So this is Queen of Blades. And this comes from... trying to get this... Okay. There's a box, isn't it? This is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. Beautiful, beautiful deck. I mean, even the box is just, you know, ribbon. Gorgeous. Absolutely love that. Okay. So that keeps it. It's they're big cards, you know, almost sort of oracle sort of style. Oracle cards are not tarot cards. With tarot cards, you will always get 78. With oracle cards, you will get whatever version of the amount of cards that the creator wants to give you. And oracle cards, anybody can look at and read. Tarot cards, and you can read them intuitively, but they are different. They do have symbolism and meanings that have a whole basis and some really fantastic meanings and feelings in order to be able to read your cards. So they do look a little bit like oracle cards, but I absolutely adore them. Queen of Blades. So there we go. We've got somebody here that's focused on her work. You know, you can see it in there. It's everything I was saying, you know. You do this sort of thing. Medical, you know. It's a great example. Surgeon, you know, that kind of energy. Think of it like that, you know. Ravneet, okay, for those that are wanting readings, I'm terribly sorry this is a workshop to learn how to read the cards tonight. It's Fridays only for free readings. Okay, Friday, okay, not at the weekends. The weekends is for those that wish to learn the meanings of tarot. All right, sorry about that, but we have to stick to what I intend to actually help people with. I am also a reader, but I also teach tarot, and this is an important part of what I do, and sharing with people who wish to know the availability of learning more about decks. Court cards are notoriously they are misunderstood. Okay, my first friend who was interested in tarot actually said to me, "Oh, I take them all out. Can't be doing with those." She convinced me that, you know, she was a professional reader. She read like that. I said, I was quite young at the time, so I'm not sure how that went down. Whenever I asked for a reading, she'd always say, I'm tired, I'm not doing it. So I don't actually know how she did it. So, whatever floats your boat. But it's a shame if you leave them out, you are missing so much from the information that they can provide for you. When those court cards come up, I feel alive and that the reading is telling us to pay attention. Okay? Right, okay, so next I'm going to go and show you the Kings. So again, Radiant Rider-Waite deck is this one, okay? And that's the one that's on the PDF. And Queen of Swords is going off that one. I'm showing you King of Swords with Winter-Waite deck. Absolutely fabulous deck. I wouldn't show you decks that I don't actually enjoy, by the way. I can sometimes go, not for me. And this is the Baroque. So let's get rid of our lovely Queen. Now, you see what I was saying? I was saying, look, there's a black cat, different sort of reed, yeah, fluffy, okay. And look, he's in charge, okay, pulling the strings here, okay. So very, very different. And I did show you that, didn't I? So that's that. I usually list them all. Sometimes I forget. If I do, just let me know. Right. Oh, gosh. I'm piling up cards onto, again, King of Blades, known as a blade instead of a sword in this deck. Sometimes people call them different things. Doesn't matter, you get the gist. And there's always a little workbook somewhere along the line in the decks as an explanation. There's no little workbook on that one. It's huge, absolutely huge. And look, I'm not selling this or anything, but I just want you to know, look. Yeah, about these actual cards in this particular deck. So most decks come with a little white book. That came with a great big yellow book, golden. Okay, so let's just have a look at the different kings. Obviously, the cat's very different. It's a little bit quirky, it's a little bit fun, but it can also speak to you. You know, look what's going on there. Look at that palace going on in the background, or that grand house. Look at those gardens. Look at how he's puppeteering the little marionette there. Look at how he's grounded and upright, you know. Very, very different from the image that I showed you, where she is kind of like just sitting there looking out the window, you know, wistfully. Can I be bothered? Can't I? Sort of thing, you know, thinking about it. You know, you can kind of see different things. So very, very different. Again, you know, our King of Swords here, to me, he looks like somebody that's going to do something technical or surgery or something where, you know, he really is a consultant of sorts. This fellow looks a little bit more sort of, you know, maybe I run a business sort of thing. I get different things from different cards, and I'm talking to you right now. I'm not really looking at them, I'm just trying to say to you, look, you'll see something different. Here, he looks like don't mess with me, you know. And this fellow here, exactly what I'm talking about. Here he is. Is he the one? He's showing an exhibit in court. Okay. He's obviously part of the legal system. He obviously knows his stuff. He's got an important role to play if he's actually holding, you know, exhibit, whatever it says on there. So yeah, lawyer of sorts, some sort of lawyer. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's Tony replying to you, Nikki. People asking about Tony. Had a bit of a tumble, which is why things went a bit strange for us all this weekend. I normally do Saturdays. Just too much going on. You know, Fridays is our free readings. So no free readings on the weekends. That's Fridays. Our workshop is the weekend. So hello from Facebook to you. Haha. Anne-Marie. Ah, hello. Um, I'm sorry, Facebook user, I don't know who you are because when I multi-stream, your name does not come up. When I multi-stream, let me explain. When I multi-stream, which means it allows me to go through Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Dailymotion, 3 or 4 different Facebook groups and my own Facebook page and YouTube, of course. Sorry if I forgot anything else there. What happens? See, Friday prayer, what happens is when you go through Restream, because it's doing all of those platforms, maybe somebody in Facebook doesn't actually want to be on all those platforms and visible. So we must have your permission, if you're watching from Facebook, to know that it is live streaming across all of those platforms. So what happens is I just get Facebook user and I have no idea who you are. So I'm terribly sorry, but a big hello and lovely, absolutely lovely to have you along with us. Oh, hello. Let me just show you. Right, let's say hi to my lovely Queen of Cups. How are you doing? How are you? Lovely to have you along. Just kind of winding up, finishing my workshop here on reading the cards, and obviously somebody called Queen of Cups. We've been doing the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords today. Okay. Oh, look at this. Yes. Right. How funny that you asked that, Nikki. Look at what Nikki's just asked. Nikki, are you ready? Does that answer your question? Anne-Marie, I've seen a huge deck of Rider-Waite cards. Do I have that deck? Oh, yes, I do. And there's my hand, and there's the deck. And this is a big card, okay? But look at that. These are fantastic. I do Instagram, of course, as well. But unfortunately, I can't multi-stream and include Instagram. I'm sure there's a way around it, but mostly you can't. There's always a loophole, isn't there? There's always a loophole. How are you, Queen of Cups? Hello, hello. Isn't that a huge deck? So this is the traditional Rider-Waite deck. So come on, let's find, before I wind up, I've got some nice questions coming in tonight. There she is, and there he is. Hey, 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 hey. So this, can you see what I mean when I say I use the radiant? People say, oh, that's just Rider-Waite. Actually, and this is Rider-Waite base. Can you not sort of see just what I'm saying? They really, really, really are so different. Bear with me, I'm going to zoom back a bit. Is that working? Yeah. Yay. Okay. So, yes. I wanted to say, Nikki, I hope that answers your question. So, look. Definitely Rider-Waite doesn't actually look that huge until you see the traditional sort of size. And also, I don't know if Fiona M's watching, she often pops in and gives me a helping hand, my fellow colleague tarot reader, and also our Queen of Swords. What was I going to say? Yeah, Fiona's got a miniature deck that I gave to her. I think we did a swapsy for, she wanted, so I can't remember what I exchanged to Fiona for, I know what I gave her. I can't remember what she gave me back. All I know is Fiona bought me the David Bowie Starman deck. And another one that I could never possibly show anybody, let alone people on YouTube. It's completely bizarre deck, as in loads of nudity, which is going to be shown here, and I can't read with them. I think they're just a funny old sort of novice sort of deck novelty. I think she brought that to cheer me up rather than expect me to read with them. If she reads with them, then good luck to you, Fiona M. So has anybody got any questions? Yeah, you see, so many different sites, and people often say, "What's the difference?" And they go, "Oh, I'm doing tarot readings," and you'll quite often see a tarot reader saying, "I'm giving tarot readings and using oracle cards." Quite often, a lot of tarot readers will use both, or just decide to kind of switch to oracle cards. Sometimes I don't think that no, it isn't. I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some. I think sometimes people think, oh gosh, I thought they were actually tarot cards and I'm doing a tarot reading. It doesn't matter. But just to clear that up in case you were confused, okay? Doesn't matter. If you're reading and it's working and it's good for you, great. I find oracle cards are very helpful. They give a little bit of, what would I say, a bit more, they give you a little bit of meat on the bone, but it's tiny. And for me, I love my tarot, and I feel that oracle cards are giving me a message, and it's written there, and it kind of, it I don't get on with them in quite the way that I could. But I have quite a lot, and yes, I do use them, and I use them as a clarifier sometimes. But most people want tarot because, I use a big old method, and the longest reading I ever did with the 44 cards that I put out in a professional reading for a client was, I think there was one at 5.5 hours, but there was one at 6.5 hours as well. And that was a client on the phone that just kept going and going and going. And it wasn't because, and that was going up on their phone bill, by the way, but they had to keep pressing every 30 minutes to renew their credit card to keep the conversation and they were given a legal sort of warning, you were agreeing to this. And that was the longest I ever did. Why? Because sometimes people want to get a hold of you and they've got so many questions about life, business, moving house, family, and they've got you for the day and they kind of go, right, I'm going for it, okay? Quite often I have group readings where party of people, maybe having dinner or maybe a gathering. They'll ring up for a group reading and pass the phone from one to another, so that they get a chance to have a reading. So if you learn your cards, you can have a future in reading tarot cards. And, it really is something that I highly recommend. I've had a lovely life. I've done what I've wanted to do. It's been incredibly busy the last 2 years when I kind of switched from working with the company that I founded, and I went in a solo direction. Why? Because they were going one way, and I wanted to actually deal with courses as well as readings. I wanted to do 50-50, if not more, with the courses, which is what's been the case. But it's been incredibly wonderful to be part of this journey. Yes, I have trained in psychic development, crystal balls, runes, sand reading, scrying. It's all part of its magnificent dream interpretation, all of those things, a little bit of astrology. I use astrology heavily with the tarot. I would never be able to just say I'm an astrologer. I'm not jack of all trades, but I have tasted everything, enjoyed it all, and bring bits into what I'm doing. Work with chakras, and the list goes on. Angels, archangels, oracle cards, you name them. There's nothing that I would say no to, apart from I'm not a medium. It is just not my thing. I trained in it, but it's just not for me. I found that it didn't make me happy. Simple as that. I wasn't comfortable, didn't feel happy. But everybody's different, and that's why I went on to find a company where I was able to actually provide mediums, psychics, astrologers, all of that kind of thing. I got a chance to work with the very best. So, it depends what you want to do. But if you want to know about tarot, then, there's plenty out there. But this is why I've done this. And 2 years ago, I did on my YouTube channel, I did a Monday morning sort of tarot school, which is very much like this. And everybody just wanted more. So I had to go away and put it all together. And thankfully that they did help me go forwards in such a wonderful way. Interesting. Somebody's just typed a message up there, telling me something rather interesting there. So, if nobody's got any questions, Swathy. Oh, that's lovely. So, thanks to Patsy for watching, and Nikki T, and I've got Tony and Facebook user there, Vivek, Priya, Queen of Cups, Nikki T, and gosh, it goes on. Ravneet, Virinda, Katie, Bob Dunga, Shell Shredder, Ibanav, and sorry if I missed you out, Melt It Like Butter. Do you do love readings? Yes, I do, but not today. So that was from Melt It Like Butter. And we've got a Facebook user there, but they didn't grant permission to restream. So no idea who they were exactly. So there we go. Swathy, who came in. I think you were in on Friday, weren't you, darling? Yeah, lovely. Right, no questions about the tarot. What a load of fun looking at all these lovely decks. Thanks to Nikki. Sorry about scrambling to find my giant card, but you can definitely see she's right. They're huge, very difficult to shuffle, but they look absolutely fantastic. Look. They look absolutely fantastic on screen. Beautiful colours, symbology, bright. You know, instead of me going, oh, can you see? So I got them for being able to film, and particularly when I am on Instagram, because I can't film down and use my multi-streaming. It's brilliant to be able to sort of, you know, do something like that. Yeah. Works much better with my iPhone, I can assure you. So, I will see you soon. Please do write to me if you want the PDFs used, similar to the ones used here. As I mentioned, mine are purple or mauve, and yours will be white. All right. If you want the tarot keywords, go on to tarotcourses.online. If you want to learn about the swords, how I've done it is I've divided it up from the swords, the cups, major arcana. The court cards went up this week. The wands, the pentacles, the cup family. Next week I should have intermediate up, and that will teach you how to do a method so that you can read the cards like a professional, or gain more insight and knowledge if you are just looking to develop as a tarot reader. If you just want to enjoy joining me for tarot workshop, exploring it, just enjoying what comes up and the community that we've got, then I will see you next week. It's usually Saturdays. Been incredibly busy. I'm not complaining, but gosh, if I'd have come on yesterday, I didn't know whether I was Martha or Arthur. I was that tired. It was just an incredibly positive but very busy day. Just wasn't fair to do it then. And I ran out of time, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'll see you next week. See you Friday for readings. See you Saturday, hopefully, for tarot workshop. If not, I'll see you on Sunday. All right, darlings, take care of yourselves and each other. And that's all from me. Bye.